So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the third day of 50 hours education course under Rule 512. We read with 12.2a. We are here for the common subjects to be learned as prescribed in the syllabus of the classes. And today we are going to start the very, very important topic that is market approach to valuation. And we will learn the basics and theories, and then we will move towards the calculation part and case study part. Welcome back, sir, and please take the charge, sir.
Thank you, Sandeep ji, and very warm welcome to all the participants. So we will be starting with our new topic, that is market approach to value. You have already studied two approaches. One was your income approach, and second one was cost approach to value. As far as market approach is concerned, the syllabus of market approach, where you have to learn different types of markets. Then you have to learn market survey and data collection. Means when you have to do any valuation, first thing you have to do is to do market survey. In the market survey, you have to collect the data. What data? Data about the sale of similar properties in the vicinity of the property of which you are doing valuation. So that is market survey and data collection. Then we will learn that from where you can get sale transactions details of similar property, that is sources of sale transactions. Then after collecting the data, and then you have to do comparison of sale instances whatever you have collected. Then we will discuss about what are the factors which you should choose for comparison, and how the weightages and adjustments in value is done. Then we will study different methods in market approach itself. Here there are many methods which you can employ during your valuation. First method is hedonic model and hedonic model. Second method is adjustment grid model. And third method is sales comparison method. These are the three methods we generally use when you can get suitable data for market approach. And then what are the land characteristics and its effect on land values, you must know. Then when you do not have enough data, or there are some circumstances where you cannot use the data you have collected, then you have to use certain methods which are part of market approach. So they are not directly, you cannot apply market approach there. Here you have to do certain things before applying the market approach. As in the case of a large chunk of land, you have a large chunk of land where you cannot directly apply the same market approach which you can apply to a smaller plots. Then that method is hypothetical plotting scheme method. And next is this method is used for large size land. Next is residual technique and other development methods. So residual techniques, what is residual technique? Here, you know the value as in the cost approach, you know there are three things involved in it. Total value is equals to cost of land plus depreciated cost of the building. So if any two are known to you, you can find out the third one. So that is residual technique. And then other development methods. So here in development method, what will we do? We will hypothetically assume the development portion of the property, and then we will calculate projected returns from the property, from where you can do the valuation value of that property. So that is development method. And in the end, you have to study valuation for joint venture development of property. So it has a huge weightage of 7%, means at least you will get 7 marks questions either in the form of case studies or in the form of theory from this part. So as we have already discussed, we will be discussing different types of markets: buyer's market, seller's market, and balanced market. And from these three, at least you will get 1 marks question in theory part most of the time. So what is buyer's market? Anybody who can tell what is buyer's market?
There are many buyers.
What
Sir,
is buyer's
buyers
market?
are less. In a market where there is a number of buyers are less than the sellers.
Yes, it is basically where the market, where the buyers have upper hand. We can say where the buyers have upper hand. So when the buyers will have upper hand, when number of buyers are less than the number of sellers, means buyers can choose from whom to buy the property. And of course, they can do more things to reduce or to buy the property at the least possible price, because the number of listings are more than the number of buyers. Number of properties which are for sale are more and number of buyers are less. So that is buyer's market. And then seller's market, it is opposite of buyer's market. Here, number of buyers are more and number of sellers are less. Means sellers have upper hand. They can sell the property at the highest possible price. They can do more negotiations. They can choose from to whom they can sell the property. And then the third one, balanced market. Here, both sellers and buyers are approximately at the same level. Means number of buyers are approximately, not exactly, or approximately equals to the number of buyers. So it is basically a transition period. So sometimes it is seller's market, sometimes it's buyer's market in the country. But during the transition period, we say that it is a balanced market where number of buyers and number of sellers are at even level. Clear? This thing is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
And then if we compare them in buyer's market,
Can you please explain again?
Sir, Ramanji,
Yes, sir.
let us suppose you want to buy a property. There are 20 properties on sale.
Yes, sir.
And do you have a choice from where of the 20 properties? Anyone, you have to buy one property and you have the choice. You can buy
Yes.
any one of the 20 properties. Then it will be called, it is buyer's market, because you have a lot of choice.
Well, buyer are fewer than the sellers, right?
Okay. And in the seller's market, let us suppose there is only two properties and number of buyers, four number of buyers are trying to buy that two properties.
Okay.
So now what will happen? It will be
Seller market.
seller's market. Or if they are equal number of properties for sale and number of buyers are approximately equal, then we call it a balanced market.
Okay.
Clear? Any doubt?
Thank you.
So now, what are the basic things? Or there are certain period in your locality, in your city, in your state, or in our country, we can say, when sometime it is buyer's market, and sometimes during COVID, it was a seller's market or buyer's market. During
Buyer's
COVID,
market.
it was
Buyer's
buyer's
market.
market. The number of sellers were more. Because when there is a boom in a real estate during 2014, 15, up to 16, there was a boom. Prices were going up.
On the buyer's market.
What will happen during buyer market? Homes take longer to sell, and sellers market, homes sell quickly. And in balanced market, what happens? Longer than sellers market, but shorter than buyers market. Okay. So sometimes you may get question over it. In buyer's market, homes take longer, home sales quickly. You will be getting four options, of which you have to select the correct one. So you must know these differences, these conditions of different markets. Next, in buyer's market, buyers have more listing to choose from, and sellers can in sellers market, sellers can be picked with who buy their homes. And in balanced market, the number of homes for sale is in line with the buyer's demand. And in buyer's market, buyers can have lower offers and negotiate more on sale price and closing cost. Whereas in seller's market, sellers can demand higher price, and in balanced market, appraisals are on par with the offers. And then in buyer's market, sellers may have to do more to sell their property, to market their properties. In seller's market, buyers may have a hard time finding a property. And balanced market, both are at the same level. And in buyer's market, sellers may need to lower the price point. And in seller's market, sellers can demand higher price point. And in balanced market, neither home buyers nor the sellers have much power to negotiate. So these differences you must know. So next thing we have to do before doing valuation based upon market approach. You have to do market survey. Let us suppose you went to do valuation of a flat or an apartment. Then you will go to the area in which this flat or apartment is situated, and then you will make a survey at which price a similar flat in the vicinity of the flat of which you were valuation have been sold recently. Recently means up to 1 year, 6 months, 1 year. So you will make a survey of that. So how you can do survey? Now we will discuss that. Survey means you need to collect the data by doing survey. Here survey does not mean that you have to find out and different levels of the ground, whatever surveying you are doing in your engineering. Here survey means you have to make a survey about the selling prices and other details of similar property in the vicinity of the property of which you do valuation. First thing is, whenever you do survey, what are the steps involved? First step is you define your objects. First thing, your objective should be clear. Whether you are doing valuation for buying of property, for selling of property, for investment purpose, or for taxation purpose. So depending upon your objective, you have to do your survey accordingly. So first thing, you define your objective. What is your objective? Okay. Second thing is, then you identify target area. Target area means you have to collect the data from the areas in the vicinity, in the nearby areas of the property of which you are doing valuation. Means you have to focus on specific regions or cities. So it does not mean if you are doing valuation that you will do survey in Delhi. And in Delhi, if you are doing valuation in Greater Clash, it means you will be doing survey in the area nearby Greater Clash. In the Greater Clash or in the nearby areas. Means in the particular area in which the property you are doing valuation is situated. And then you collect the data. Then what data you have to collect? You have to collect the data on the recent property sales, rental rates, and market trends. These things, at least you have to collect the data about these things. Property sales, at what price the properties have been sold, and what are the rent per unit, market rent, rack rent, which we have discussed in the of the similar properties. And then what are the market trends? So whether it is a buyer's market, whether it is a seller's market, or other things related to marketability in that particular area of the city, town, or village. And you can use the sources like property registration offices, real estate portals, and market reports, or real estate agents of that area. And then field survey. You have to conduct physical inspections of the properties to assess their conditions and amenities. So it does not mean that you have to collect the data only about the sale price or rental details. You have to collect the other data also about the properties of which you are collecting data, such as physical condition, age of the properties that were sold, what were the amenities provided there, what were the specifications of the properties, not only the property of which you are doing valuation, but about the properties you are choosing as comparables. You have to collect the data about those properties also. And what are the amenities provided there in the properties of which you are collecting data. And then you can have interviews with the real estate agents. You can engage with real estate agents, developers, and local residents to gather qualitative information. These are the persons from where you can get qualitative data. And also you can get from the local residents, you can collect the data about the, if any there is any problem with the property, legal hurdles, or some other problem with the property, you can get such data from the local residents. Next is what are the different collection methods, data collection methods, how you can collect the data. What are the methods? What are the methodology involved in collection of data? First thing is comparative market analysis. So as we have already discussed it, compare similar properties that have been recently sold in the same area. Similar property of which you are doing valuation. If it is a 2-bedroom apartment, means you will be collecting data about the 2-bedroom flats. Try to get the data of similar properties in the same area. If you cannot get the data from the same area, then from the nearby areas. But it will be more, you will get more accurate value if you get the data of similar property from the same area. Especially then if you are applying income approach, if you are doing valuation of a property which is an income generating, income fetching property, then you have to collect the data about the rental income, rental rates in that area. And then if you are doing it from cost approach, then you have to collect the data about the cost of rebuilding or replacing similar properties. What are the per unit rate of constructions in that particular area of similar specification properties. And then if you are doing valuation based upon development method, so we will discuss this development method in details in the coming slides. As of now, you must understand development method. In development method, we will hypothetically develop the property and we will calculate, try to analyze future projections from future projections of returns from the property. So what are the key data points? What are the points from where you can get the data? First thing is location. So you have to get the data about the proximity to amenities, public transportation, and overall neighborhood quality. And then you have to collect the data about the property as we have already discussed about the size and layout. Then you have to collect the data about the age and maintenance of the property of which you are doing valuation and of the similar properties. Then market trends, such as market trend means current demand and supply dynamics in the local market. Means whether it is a buyer's market, it is a seller's market, or it is a balanced market, such like. Then what are the other tools and resources which you can employ is online portals. No, these are not reliable, but you can check that websites like housing.com, Magic Bricks, 99 acres for market listing and trends. And then government records, property registration data, and municipal records. Then professional services like real estate valuation firms, real estate agents, etc. You can contact them. So by following these steps and utilizing these methods, you can gather comprehensive data to accurately value the estate properties in India. And then what are the sources of transactions in India from where you can get the data? We have already discussed from the sub-registrar's office, from the online real estate portals, and then there are certain research firms like JLL, Knight Frank, and Service that offers detailed market reports and transaction data. And then most of the banks, they have got valuations done in that particular area from where you can get the data on the property transactions through mortgage record or loan disbursement. Then you can get data from the real estate investment trust. We have already discussed these things in the first chapter. And then there is one association, industry association, and real estate bodies, organizations like National Real Estate Developers Council and Confederation of Real Estate Developers Association of India. You can contact them, their website, to get market insights and transactional data of the area of which you are doing valuation. And then social platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, they can sometimes give insights into the property transactions through professional and community groups. So first approach is a sales comparison approach. So in sales comparison approach, the goal is to adjust, the process is to make comparable property look more like the subject property. So we will take an example how this sales comparison approach is applied. That will make the things more clear to you instead of going through this theoretical part. That will make the things clear. Then basically what we do in this market approach, we try to bring the properties at the same level. How they are brought. So we will see how we can do that. So let us suppose you are doing the valuation of a flat this 2 BHK flat. And you have collected the data of 3 flats A, B, and C. All are 2 BHK flats. This is also 2 BHK. Let us suppose this flat was sold for 40 lakh. This flat was sold for 38 lakh. This flat will sold for 42 lakh. Now let us suppose the age of your flat is 1 year. This flat is, let us suppose, 10-year-old. This flat is 8-year-old. This flat is, let us suppose, 5 years old. So then we will make some adjustment in this selling price. If this flat was 1 year old, then whether this flat would have been sold for higher or lower price. Your flat is 1 year old, this flat is 10-year-old. If this flat A was also 1 year old, its price would be 40 lakh or 45 lakh, more than 40 lakh or less than 40 lakh. Ji Raman ji.
It will be higher price. It will be higher price because it's
It
a
will be
new
higher price,
flat.
more than 42 lakhs.
Yes.
So means it will be higher.
Yes.
So similarly, we will make adjustment. How these adjustment will be done for age, for specifications, for location, etc. That is the thing we do in this market approach. So basic thing is okay, here we apply the rule. We will make the poor rich and make the rich poor. समाजवादी सिद्धांत लागू किया जाएगा. गरीब को अमीर बनाना है, अमीर को गरीब बनाना है. सीधा समाजवादी सिद्धांत. So if it is of poorer quality, poorer attribute, we will make it, we will increase, we will apply positive weightage. Here again, we will be applying positive weightage. We call it that we will apply positive weightage. How this will be applied, we will consider that afterward. First thing, you must be clear in your mind how the positive weightage and how the negative weightage is given. And let us suppose our flat of which we are doing valuation, it is situated in the interior part on a narrow lane. And this is situated on a, it is situated on a main road. Now what? If we compare both of them, if the same flat A was situated in a narrow lane whether it would have fetched more price or less.
Less.
Less price.
So we will apply negative weightage in this case. Our aim is to bring them at the same level. Our aim is to bring them at the same level, having the similar conditions, age, location-wise, age-wise, specification-wise, or other things we choose as comparables. First thing in your mind, it should be clear how the positive weightage or how the negative weightage is given. Clear? Any doubt? But when we will be taking some examples, these things will be clear to you. But as of now, you must understand how the positive and negative weightage is given. Now, there is no thumb rule that this much of weightage will be given or this much of weightage will be given. That we will consider how it will be done. As of now, you must understand this thing, that how the positive and negative weightage is given. Anybody having any doubt about that? Otherwise, most of the things will be clear during your case studies part. So these are the certain thumb rules. These are not that in every case this rule is applicable, but these are certain thumb rules that how much weightage is to be applied. Positive or negative, that is different issue. How much percentage weightage may be applied? It is not given in any rule book. This is just thumb rule that if the subject property of you are doing valuation, it is of double frontage, and the sale instance property of which you have collected the data was of single frontage, you will be applying a plus 15 to 20% weightage. See here, the sale instance is of single frontage, our property is of double frontage. So to bring it at the same level, we will be applying positive weightage. Clear? Is it clear? Why will be? So similarly, now see here, our plot is of larger size plot, and the sale instance property was of same size, small size plot. Remember, smaller size plots always have higher per unit price. Larger size plots have always lower price. So we will be applying positive or negative weightage?
Negative.
Negative.
We will be applying negative weightage of minus 15 to minus 40% depending upon the situation. Similarly, time factor. Here we are doing valuation as on today. This property was sold 1 year ago. Had this property being sold today, it would have higher value. Is not it? So whether we will be applying positive or negative weightage?
Positive.
Positive.
We will applying positive weightage plus 5 to 15%. This is how this weightage is done. Similarly, the property of which we are doing valuation, it is a landlocked land. It does not have any direct access, of which you are doing valuation. Plot without access road, of which, so the plot which is without any access road, this is called a landlocked land. And the sale instance, it was of a plot which was awaiting the road. So whether we will apply positive or negative?
Negative.
So we will apply a negative weightage. Because had it a landlocked land, it would have fetched lower value. So we have to bring them at the same level.
Sir, one question.
Yes, sir.
जैसे सेलर्स मार्केट अगर चल रही है तो उसमें कई बार देखा जाता है कि लार्ज प्लॉट्स जो हैं उनका भी पॉजिटिव में इनफैक्ट छोटे से ज्यादा चला गया.
सर अभी
Yeah.
हम अभी सारा कुछ आ जाएगा, आप चिंता मत करिए।
तो ये
अभी
फैक्टर्स
ये
चेंज होंगे, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये
मैं
है
वही
कि
बात बता रहा हूँ कि दीज आर नॉट द रूल्स, दीज आर जस्ट थंब रूल्स। यू हैव टू चेक द कंडीशंस, मार्केट कंडीशंस सर। जब आप कोई ऐड देखते हैं उसके नीचे एक तारा बना होता है ना, स्टार, उसके ऊपर लगा होता है कंडीशंस अप्लाई। यहाँ पर भी कंडीशंस अप्लाई है सर। सर these are not just any rule. These rules are not given in any book. This is just thumb rule. This is how you can do. It is not that you will always do as it is. This is just for your information only, sir. These conditions are not applicable everywhere. That is why you cannot do the same valuation in every case. Every valuation is a different problem. In every valuation, different things are there. You cannot apply the same thing. Even if they are both are of 100 square yard, both are in the same locality, they cannot have the same value. And again, it will depend upon the purpose. If you are doing it for the banking purpose, then it will have a different value. If you are doing it for any other taxes purpose, taxation purpose, it will have different values. So that is why it is called an art. This is not a science. This is an art. Clear, sir? Any doubt? So next thing,
So
joint
one
ownership
doubt.
from, yes.
So one doubt. These weightages, no, like we need to keep it like written or we need to keep it as a thumb rule for all the valuations.
Well, it will depend upon condition to condition, case to case. We will be taking some examples that will make the things clear to you. So this
Even
is the
do this
sir,
vary as per the
madam, see
location
here,
also, like from state to state?
ma'am, we will take one or two examples that will make the things clear. This is where your expertise will come into play. See here, the huge difference 15 to 20%, 15 to 14%. Then whether it should be 15, whether it should be 20, whether it should be 25. Who will tell you?
Okay.
See the huge difference, man. 15 to 14%. So why not 50, 10? Why not 45? It is not that simple that you will simply apply 15%. The thing you have applied, you have to, sometime you may have to explain why you choose 15%. Why not 18%, 20%? This is where your expertise come into play. So we will be reaching there. Just hold on. These are just thumb rules. Okay, we will go to the next part that will make the things clear to you. We will take an example. This is sales comparison approach. Example, it is just this example is where we make the many things clear to you, how you can do the things from that, how you can play with the data you have collected. Basically this method, here you have to do every calculation with the data you have done. Sorry, due to some internet problem. Due to some heavy rain, there is internet problem. Take this example. Suppose the subject property you are evaluating is a new 24,000 square feet office property. Brand new building. Market rent for the area is 15 rupees per square feet. Average operating expenses are rupees 4.10 per square feet. So what are operating expenses? Anybody? What are operating expenses?
24,000 multiplied by
clean
4.1.
sweeping,
4.10.
bottle wall, clean sweeping, and other
Maintenance
miscellaneous
expenses
expenses,
are there.
maintenance expenses.
19 रुपए 10 पैसे per square foot.
So it is basically when you live in a locality where there are flats. So there are certain common services for which you have to pay. Just like lift, maintenance of common areas. That all comes under operating expenses.